Hey guys, it's Jenny here. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing an unhaul. So I went through my bookshelves when I first got here and purged them, but now everything that I've unhauled I'm pretty sure is all together now in this box. Besides what I unhauled a couple months ago, that's in storage. So yeah, I figured I would go through it. If I have a reasoning, I'll give it, or if most of the time, for a majority of these, they are just in the unhaul because they have been sitting on my shelves forever and still haven't gotten read, and I was running out of shelf space, and I didn't see myself getting to them, so I figured I would let them go and let somebody else try to read them. But first I have a couple of merchy items. So I have my Audrey Rose plush from Fae Crate, and the reason I'm unhauling this one is because I was actually sent 2, and I don't know if I ordered 2. I don't know how, but I ended up with 2 of them, so I'm going to be unhauling that. I will probably be listing her on the swaps. And then I have so many bookish candles, so many that they just crowd my shelves. So I went through them all and decided to unhaul these 2. One is by Little Mouse Bookshelf, and it's Veronica Mars Marshmallow. I never got into Veronica Mars, and I have a dozen candles and wax melts that smell like this, so I figured I would pass it on to someone who would actually be really excited about it. Don't get me wrong, I like the scent and everything, but I know that somebody could appreciate it a lot more than me. And then this one is Cockroach Clusters, and I think this is a Harry Potter one. It doesn't say who it's by, but this scent is Chocolate, Strawberry, and Mint. And I'm not a fan of those scents, so yeah. Now for the books. There's a bunch of them. So I guess I'm just going to pick one and start going. First, we have Little Nothing by Marissa Silver. And I think this is a spin of Little Red Riding Hood. And it sounded interesting to me at the time, but now I just don't feel like I'm ever going to get to it. So I'm unhauling it. Next, let me see how many. Well, I have at least 2 Nicholas Sparks books. I started getting on a collecting spree with these, but I don't think I'm going to get to them. I just don't. Do I think Nicholas Sparks is a good writer? Yes, but his writing is a little repetitive, so I very rarely find myself in the mood to read his books. Next, we have Goose Girl by Shannon Hale, and I wanted to read this really bad, but as the time goes by, I don't foresee myself picking it up. The names are really hard to pronounce, and I've just never felt myself really drawn to it in the past couple of years that I've had it. And then next, I also have Happily Ever After by Kiera Cass, which is the all of the companion stories. There's the Prince, the Guard, the Queen, and the Favorite. And I just, I love the selection, but I prefer to just read it as a trilogy. And I never read it, so I'm gonna unhaul it. Next we have The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks. Again, he's a good writer. I've had this book since 2016, and I just don't see myself ever picking it up. It's been almost 6 years. It's almost been 5 years. Next, we have Tower of Dawn. And I unhauled this because it's a duplicate copy. I'm pretty sure that I ordered this from Book Outlet. Yeah, I ordered this from Book Outlet thinking that it was a special edition. But the special edition sold out, so I just got a regular copy. So I am going to be unhauling this. Next, I have To Catch a Killer by Cheryl Scarborough. And this seemed nice at first, but I really don't like YA thrillers. I find them really cheesy, and I don't know, I have yet to read a YA thriller that I enjoy, so I just stick to adult thrillers, and I just decided to unhaul it. And then I have The Zookeeper's Wife by Diane Ackerman. Same thing. I wanted to read this really bad when I saw the movie, but historical fiction literally bores me to death. I wanted to read that so bad, and I kept it around thinking, maybe one day I'll be in the mood to read this, and I just can't do it. I don't know what it is, but I cannot read historical fiction. And then next I have Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This is the copy that I think I bought secondhand, and I think I just want to get this series in hardcover or something. I don't know. I'm not ready for the series yet, so I'm going to unhaul it for now. I needed the space. And then I have The Last Place on Earth by Carol Snow and Anti-Goddess by Kendar Blake. Both books that I really wanted to read in the beginning, but that I just lost interest in and don't think I'm ever going to end up picking them up. So yeah. I had to be brutal. Like, some of these books I was hella interested in, but now I just know, like, I'm probably never going to get to them because there's so many new releases coming out that I'm more interested in. So yeah. Next I have Every Day by David Levithan, and again, same thing. I'm not a big fan of YA romance, and that book, yeah. Black Hearts by Nicole Casterman. Again, a concept I was very intrigued by, but it has taken me years to pick it up, so I'm finally going to let it go. Haven't heard much about it. The concept was cool, but it's time for it to get a new home. Love and Other Alien Experiences by Carrie Winfrey. This sounded like a cute book from Book Outlet. I think she suffers from agoraphobia. Yeah. Yeah, she has, agoraphobia, but blah, blah, blah. So I thought it was a cool concept, but I never ended up picking it up. I'm also unhauling Sanctum by Madeline Rowe. I was very interested in this series, but lately I've just not been having a pull towards it at all. So I'm unhauling all the books that I had gotten from it. Because, like I said, there's just so many new series coming out that I'm really excited to read. There's so many new books that I'm more invested in. So I really had to get intense with my unhauling. And I mean intense. I also have We Are All That's Left by Carrie Arcos, and this was like another kind of like a war historical fiction story, but it was mixed in with like a photography element, and I thought it would be cool, but I've had absolutely no draw towards it, so I unhauled it. Ready Player One by, who is this by? Ernest Cline, that's what I thought. Yeah. I love the movie, but every time I've gone to pick up the book, I just can't make myself. I go to read it, I'm like, I'm going to read Ready Player One, and I'm like, no. So, it's going to go. I will appreciate the movie. Yeah. Asylum by Madeline Rowe. You know, you just saw the sequel, Sanctum. So, those are going. Next we have Fig by Sarah Elizabeth Shantz. This is about, I think her mom has like dementia. No, what am I talking about? What is this? Schizophrenia? I know I like picked it up for a reason that it's related to mental health. Yeah, she tries to save her mother from schizophrenia while her own mental health and relationships deteriorate. So I thought it sounded really interesting, but now I'm just like, I just don't have the mind for it. So, bye-bye. Amelia Ann is Dead and Gone by Kat Rosenfeld. This is one of the books that I bought when I first started making my own money and had discovered the likes of Book Outlet. I literally bought everything I could get my hands on, and I'm pretty sure I've almost unhauled all of the books that I bought in the beginning of my Book Outlet phase. There's a couple still hanging around, but I definitely really didn't think much. Anything sounded interesting to me, so I picked it up. So if you're thinking about joining BookTube and you discover Book Outlet, definitely be careful what you buy, because 9 out of 10 times later on, once you progress, you're going to realize that they actually don't sound that appealing to you. You're just buying them because books are cheap and you want everything. Trust. I swear. Because that's exactly how I was. Anytime I had money, I was like, man, I can totally spend this on Book Outlet. You can, doesn't mean that you should. Next is The Secrets We Keep by Trisha Lever, and this is, again, one of the Book Outlet buys. Yeah, no. I'm pretty sure it's about a sister who dies and the other one takes her place, and I don't know. Kind of creeps me out how they got that whole sister thing. Weird. It sounds cheesy. And then we have, let me get these off. Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. I started this book. I got like 70 pages in, but I cannot do like the cheesy YA romances anymore. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't. No, I just can't. Where like romance is the whole focal viewpoint. So it's finally going. And then I didn't want to unhaul this book, but I don't foresee myself continuing on with the series, so I'm just going to unhaul it, and that is Splintered by A.G. Howard. I think I liked this book. I think I gave it like a 3.5 or a 4 something stars. Of course it doesn't tell me, but the book was, it was good. It was just really strange, I think I remember. And yeah, I was gonna keep it because I like the cover and I think it's a cool concept, but I'm not gonna continue on with the series, so there's no point in me keeping it around. Same with The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. I really liked this first book. I'm pretty sure I actually definitely gave this 4 stars, but I wasn't as obsessed with it as I was hoping I would be, and there's like 4 or 5 other books in the series, so I just decided to scrap it because I don't really have any interest in continuing. I also have Lady Killers by Tori Telfer, which is just about deadly women all throughout history. I'll probably donate this one because it's definitely beat up a little bit. I wrapped it in one of my, and it ripped. And yeah, I just don't really have any interest in it anymore. I got Criminal Minds if I want to learn about serial killers, even if they're not real. That's actually kind of better. Next, I have Bird Box by Josh Malerman. Again, we all went through that Bird Box phase where we were obsessed with the movie, wanted to read the book, and now I just don't find any appeal to it because, I don't know. I also have The River at Night by Erica Ferenik. I think I bought this secondhand, and I thought it sounded really interesting at first, but now I just don't have any interest in reading a survival story because survival stories do kind of freak me out. Oh, we're getting to the end. Next we have The Map That Leads to You by J.P. Moniger. I think this is a book that I got, like, it got given to me. Like, somebody was getting rid of stuff and they're like, oh, hey, you like books, you want this book? And I was like, I don't care, throw it in my pile. And I'm not a romance person, guys. I really prefer fantasy. Next, I have Lizzie by Dawn Ias, and Lizzie Borden. I'm kind of interested in Lizzie Borden, but the book just didn't really pull me anymore, so I decided to unhaul it. Next, we have the books that I collected for the Pretty Little Liars series. Yeah, I did enjoy the Pretty Little Liars series, but I really don't foresee myself ever going back to it and rereading it, and there's really no sense in me collecting 17 books that I'm never going to read again. Most of the books that I keep around are books that I could actually see myself rereading again. Like, if I look around at my red shelves, I'm like, yeah, I would totally reread those. And yeah, the Pretty Little Liars books were good, but I have all of the seasons on DVD and I prefer the show anyways. So, yeah. Which goes hand in hand with The Perfectionist by Sarah Shepard. I actually bought this after The Pretty Little Liars ended, because I heard that they were coming out with the show The Perfectionist, but I know that they went way off the book for it. And I really haven't had a pull to watch The Perfectionist either, so I'm just gonna stick with the Pretty Little Liars TV show. Okay. Next, we have Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard by Rick Riordan. I love Rick, but I really couldn't get into this one. That's not saying I'm not going to try again, because the reason I unhauled this copy was because all of my books by him were either in a boxed paperback set or they were hardcover, and I just wanted to have this series in hardcover, and I did find a hardcover copy for $3, so I'm unhauling this one. Next, Beware the Wild by Natalie C. Parker, along with Forget Tomorrow by Pintip Dunn. Dystopian book outlet finds when I first started this channel. I'm never going to read these. I'm just not. And I'm so irritated because I thought I was going to be able to do this video all in one take, and then I got a spam call. But yeah, these books, like I said, never going to read these. So it's time for them to go, because there's no point in them taking up room on my shelves that I could be using for books I'm genuinely interested in. And that's not trying to diss the author. I just don't have a personal draw to these anymore. Same with Cut Me Free by J.R. Johansson. I kept this book around for the longest time because it does sound interesting to me, but I have put off reading it for too long, so I finally just need to let it go. Same with The Clockwork Scarab by Colleen Gleason. It's a historical fiction. It's like a Stoker and Holmes novel. Sounds really interesting, but I know that I'm not going to be able to pick it up. Okay, so this one... Whoops! Will Never Be Apart by Emiko Jean. I don't know. I bought it when I started getting money. I went to Barnes & Noble and I was like, ooh, that sounds mysterious. Let me pick it up. So I need to pick everything up that sounded interesting to me. I didn't know the concept of picking and choosing. And then next was Diary of a Haunting by M. Verano. And this looks very creepy. Again, got it off a book outlet and I just don't find any desire to read it. So it's gonna go out. Okay, final stack. The World Before Us by Aislinn Hunter. I am like pretty sure I got this at the Dollar Tree because I was like, man, I haven't bought a book in a while and I should just buy this. And stupid decision making. Next, we have After Alice by Gregory Maguire. Very pretty book. I really love how pretty this book is. But I have heard that it's kind of confusing to follow and it doesn't give you what you wanted out of reading it. So I decided to let it go because I don't really foresee myself picking it up. Plus I have other Alice in Wonderland story retellings that I could read instead. I have The Looking Glass Wars, and I could always reread The Queen of Hearts or Heartless by Marissa Meyer. So I got options. Plus, I just unhauled forgot what it was called. Spindle, maybe? Splintered by A.G. Howard. And then finally, I decided to unhaul these Zebulon Finch books. This is The Death and Life of Zebulon Finch, Volume 1, At the Edge of Empire by Danielle Krauss. And this one is The Death and Life of Zebulon Finch, Volume 2, Empire Decayed by Danielle Krauss. Very big, chunky book outlet finds. I was very invested in these in the beginning, but I am no longer invested in opening up a tome this big and consuming it. Unless it's Sarah J. Maas. So, that concludes my unhaul. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time for a brand new video.